TikTok is a platform that is home to a tremendous amount of creators, with an estimated 8.6 billion videos uploaded each and every year. However, not all content is made the same, and while some is perfectly fine to have up, other videos are taboo. They break the rules. They lead the person that uploaded them to being banned from the platform. In this video, we have a number of creators that saw their TikTok accounts be deleted for various reasons. Some of these creators I have a feeling you'll know about, others might be new to you. So without further ado, let's begin with the very first creator we'll talk about today. This one I had absolutely no idea about until I checked my following tab recently. It's none other than Tailor. I'd say it's quite possible that you might already know who Tailor is, but in case you don't, he really rose to popularity back in 2023 for his rambunctious content. If his name doesn't give it away, Tailor, real name Roshan Melwani, is a Hong Kong-based tailor that would make content around suits and his tailoring business. Nothing out of the ordinary in theory, but in practice, there was some strange behavior in these videos. His most popular content would usually start with Roshan making some comments about the person that had just received their suits. The most common of these being young Chinese boy.
Young Chinese boy. Young Chinese boy. Tiny little Chinese boy. Little Chinese boys from all over the globe scurry to me like rats. Little Chinese boys don't even want a suit from me. They just want to be violated by me, absolutely.
He would then follow up by asking the person their age, and this was where things would go off the rails. Notice that at the start of these videos, he always has a coat hanger spare. If the person was under 18 years of age, he would keep the coat hanger and then use it to show off the suit that he made from a distance.
Young Chinese boy, how old are you?
16.
Say it again.
I'm 16.
I have zero consent here. Which hanger would you like? Let's use the wooden one. Today, 2 buttons, 2 Mazzoni buttons on a very, very narrow fish mouth lapel.
However, if the person was 18 or older, he would immediately yell out that he has plenty of consent before manhandling the people involved, oftentimes spanking them in the process after he got to describing their trousers.
Young Filipino boy, how old are you?
28.
What?
28.
This young Filipino boy, he flew to Hong Kong to buy a suit. 2 buttons, 2 glorious stone buttons. Check out the peak of my pocket square. My 4D fit. Nobody gift wraps planets the way I do. Nobody can show off a man's ass the way I do, and that is why men from all over the world descend upon my atelier because they want a Chinese massage.
So the deal is, these videos were a mix of Roshan actually showing off his tailoring business, and because of his unhinged behavior, these videos often went viral, with several other people doing impressions of the content.
I have a pasty, wet, chubby Indian who I'm going to violate. They scurry to me like rats.
His catchphrase, plenty of consent, kind of became the thing that people knew him for. Obviously, a lot of people might tune in to see his suits, but it's undeniable that a lot of people probably watched to see him violate these young Chinese boys that turned 18 last week. Now, you might think, well, the reason he got banned was clearly because he violates people on camera. He literally spanks people in most episodes. But you see, that's what the coat hanger's for. He would never do it to someone 17 or younger. Tailor was a mega viral account for some time. The people that signed up for his videos definitely would have known what was in store. It's Tailor. If you got a suit made, you knew a complimentary spanking was on the horizon. So if these people signed up for this, surely it wouldn't break TikTok's policies for violence or sexual harassment. Now, originally, I wasn't going to be able to tell you why Tailor was banned from TikTok. I couldn't find any articles written about it online, and it seems as though even Roshan himself never released a public statement about it. The only reason I know was that I recently got signed out of my TikTok account. I couldn't remember my password, and I made a new account, and when I went to follow all of my old followed accounts, Tailor was long gone. And when you look up Sam's Tailor on TikTok now, the first account that comes up only has 54,000 followers compared to the 1.7 million he had before. And in the description, it reads that this is a second account. However, someone always has to be the very first person to break the story, and I have an exclusive for you guys. I reached out to Roshan on Instagram to see if he would divulge any information on what happened to him, and to my surprise, he actually got back to me. I was lucky enough to get a video call with him in the very early hours of the morning, and so it's time to find out from Roshan himself why he was banned from TikTok. Here I am with Roshan, otherwise known as Sam's Tailor. So why have you been banned from TikTok?
I actually have no idea. So the truth of the matter is this, right? I was initially banned for my edgy content, okay? So I appealed and it didn't work, and I was on about 500,000 followers then, right? So I appealed and appealed, didn't work, so I thought, that was it, right? A couple of months later, I was like, you know what? This can't be it. I worked so hard to get to 500K. So I had my lawyers write to them, right? Not try to sue them or anything. Just say, listen, whatever mistakes we've made, you're not very clear. Tell us what we've done wrong, and we won't do it again, and reinstate us, please. And they reinstated me immediately without any dialogue whatsoever. Then I got a spate of warnings suddenly on my account. So I got this spate of warnings based on some sort of account ban violation. Suddenly they all popped up. They were all old. They weren't new, right? They were well before I was reinstated. But what hurts me even more is that, look, let's use one of my great friends and clients, Tom Segura, right? Yes. I'll give you an example. The videos that we shot together in Hong Kong, he posted them first. He said, let me post them first. So he posts them, he gets 1 million, 2 million, 3 million views, okay? I post the same video, right, of me and Tom, shot from my camera in Hong Kong. It's the fucking same video. It goes to 1 million views overnight, and then I get a ban. I get it wiped. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the second video I posted with Tom, the same thing happened. After his dripped out on, say 2 million views, and his video was on TikTok and Instagram. And then my videos got pulled.
So
and it's the same video. It's the same video.
Was this exactly, so are we saying these are individual videos that got banned, not the entire channel? These are like individual ones that TikTok said?
which led to that initial ban, which led to the first ban.
Interesting, okay.
And then the second ban, like I said, I had not posted any edgy content, but all these violations from the past was suddenly, like that picture I showed you, all these violations from the past were flagged. So I'm being targeted by them because I'm in China.
It definitely could be that.
And I publish a lot of content with the leaders of Hong Kong. Okay, so, I've published content with our former chief executive, Donald Chung. I published content with our former chief executive, a lot of content with our former chief executive, Carrie Lam. And I published content with our current chief executive, John Lee. And all three are sanctioned by the US government.
So do you think it could be a political thing? Did it say, was there like a reason? Was it like...
They just called up old violation videos. So bro, if you have any other questions, I'm all ears, but that's my side of the story. And, I would love an answer, you know what I mean? And I would love a way back in. So if anyone's watching and they can help me back in, help me.
So there you have it. We now know why Sam Tailor was banned from none other than Roshan himself. Maybe he was just unlucky and the wrong bot found him at the wrong time and decided to strike his entire channel down. Or maybe, just maybe, there was some conspiracy at play. But he's just the first of many different terminated users that we have today, from predators to murderers. So moving on, from someone who slaps meaty ass to someone who avoids meat altogether, next up we have the infamous vegan teacher. The vegan teacher, real name Katie Karen Diekmeyer, is a now 60-year-old vegan and internet personality, mostly known for her controversial actions on the internet and perpetuating the stereotype of the annoying, condescending and judgmental vegan. She's done a laundry list of controversial things in the past. I would be here all day if I were to go over each and every little nugget of it, so to cut to the chase, the main reason why it said that she was banned was to do with Tommy Innit, a content creator known for his Minecraft videos, stand-up comedy, and ability to own Logan Paul on Twitter. Tommy Innit is known for a lot of things, and one of them was being a very successful content creator whilst he was very young. On Google Trends, it shows that he was most searched back in early 2021 when the Dream SMP was in full swing. But Tommy Innit was only about 16 years old back then. And so when the vegan teacher started trying to get involved with Tommy on TikTok, people thought that a woman in her mid-50s commenting on the business of a 16-year-old boy was very strange. For example, after Tommy made a video on TikTok saying that he was in college surrounded by girls, the vegan teacher said that he should get himself a vegan girlfriend.
I'm at college and surrounded by women.
Don't be scared, Tommy. Just follow that meat teacher, Miss Tofu. She'll help you find a nice vegan girl who will teach you what to do.
More than 3,000 of Tommy's fans stitched themselves onto this reaction, and the vegan teacher said that they were being vegan-phobic.
Tommy Innit fans, what the is the matter with you guys? You're losing your minds. I saw some of the duets that you guys did to that little 15-second video I did for him. You know, the one where I was just trying to encourage him to become vegan? What the are you guys doing? Some of you are crying, some of you are punching the camera, going crazy. You're like, off, stay away from Tommy. You know, he's at college, I'm a teacher. I'm allowed to talk to him. You've never been through any wars, you've never suffered, you have no idea about the world. If that's gonna make you cry, God help the next generation. You guys are f***ed up. Seriously. Get your priorities straight.
But what happened next would send the vegan teacher on a one-way trip to the book of the band. For whatever reason, she couldn't leave well enough alone. A short while later, and Tommy would make yet another TikTok video about his infatuation with girls, as is quite common for him. And the vegan teacher would yet again respond. But this response was deemed to be highly inappropriate. Instead of me telling you what it was, I think it might be best to show you what she said right from the horse's mouth.
Hello TikTok, I got 2 more golden play buttons today that I'm going to show to girls if they come around. Because they do.
Tommy, the nice vegan girls don't want to see your buttons. But if you want them to play with your buttons, you're going to have to show them your fruits and your vegetables.
So that's right, a woman in her late 50s woke up that morning and decided to make a video on TikTok where she would tell a 16-year-old boy that he needs to show vegan girls his fruits and vegetables. This is clearly a sexual innuendo, and while it's not exactly explicit, making an innuendo like this to a 16-year-old when you're in your 50s is never going to go down well. Maybe it's just a coincidence that about a week later her account was terminated. However, it was heavily speculated that this video was the straw that broke the camel's back. The vegan teacher would go on to claim that she didn't know that Tommy was 16 at the time. Whether that's true or not, I couldn't possibly say. But it's not exactly like he looks older. However, this story does take one last turn. The vegan teacher vowed that she would not give up on TikTok, and for a while at least, TikTok would not give up on banning her. According to her Wikipedia page, she was IP banned, and there have been several articles written about her attempts to come back being snuffed out by the platform. So imagine my surprise when I looked her up on TikTok and found that she's back on the platform all these years later and has more than 1 million followers. Clearly, it seems as though TikTok have allowed her back onto the platform, with her first upload on this new account coming in May 2022, about a year or so after she was initially banned. So while she was blacklisted from the platform for some time, she is now unbanned and uploads daily. But not everyone featured within this video will be quite so fortunate. As far as I'm aware, the next terminated user that we're set to talk about has never made a return to the platform since its ban. Let's talk about a person who thought he was playing Magnus Carlsen level 4D chess, when in reality, he had set himself up for a scholar's mate. It seems as though recently on TikTok, showing people how to commit crime has just been another part of the platform. Over the past few years, there have been plenty of examples of people literally recording themselves committing crime. For example, the recent JP Morgan Chase glitch, where people wrote checks to themselves and then deposited them at ATMs. Their account would then show a loss of money, they go and spend the money, and then after it was verified by a human, the money would be taken away, leaving people oftentimes in thousands of dollars of debt and in a life where it might be hard to do any form of banking from here on out. And in a similar fashion, Greenthumbgotbands, real name Ryan Rort, decided to teach his audience on TikTok how he committed a financial crime. So let's take a look at his scheme.
What if I told you there was a way to buy things like this $100,000 watch without spending a single dollar of your own money, using business credit like this that you never actually had to pay back? Not to the average person, guys. This sounds crazy, but any business owner knows how this works. You know how personal credit works. Let's say, for example, you go get a car or a credit card in your personal name. You're personally held responsible for that. So if you were to go get a credit card in your personal name and you were to go max the card out, you're gonna be held liable, and if you don't make that payment back, the bank can come and sue you. Now, what makes us different about business credit? With business credit, you are not personally held responsible for that line of credit. So let's say, for example, how I got this watch. I was able to open a business that I didn't really give a shit about. I went and opened business credit cards in that account. I then proceeded to go on, buy this for $100,000. I'm gonna turn around and sell it to a jeweler for $80,000 in cash, which now gives me the cash. I'll file bankruptcy on the company. I'll never have to actually pay it back because I'm not personally liable for that American Express card. It's all liable underneath my business.
Now, I'm no financial expert whatsoever. I cannot stress that enough. But even for someone as financially illiterate as me, this smelled like crime. People were out there in the comment section saying that the dude had literally outed himself for committing straight up fraud. Like, there's just no guessing around that. The video in question would quickly blow up in popularity as people began to take notice, with some people apparently even saying that they were going to get him audited. Especially as a self-proclaimed finance guru, you've got to think that he would know these things. And if he did, that it would be irresponsible of him to say that you could do this to his audience that might be watching him for advice. With the video blowing up, Greenthumbgotbands decided to respond to the controversy, saying that he was just trolling and that he couldn't be audited because the entire thing was fake.
The funniest part about this whole video is how many of you guys thought I was being serious. You had to be fucking stupid to believe that you can open a brand new business, get American Express, and be able to spend $100,000 without any history on the business or any of that kind of shit. I was trolling another TikTok video I saw, and y'all blew it up like I knew what fucking happened. And now everyone's commenting, fraud this, fraud that, fraud this, but there's no proof of me for anything because it was all complete bullshit.
So at this moment in time, it seems as though Greenthumb thought of himself as some sort of 1000 IQ anime villain. He was all like,
"You foolish mortals, you stepped right into my trap that I planted long ago. You couldn't outthink the machinations of my mind. I was 2 steps ahead all along."
But what he didn't anticipate was that TikTok would just see all of this go down and then ban him from the app. Clearly, this anime villain's demise was his hubris. He thought that he was untouchable, but the gods of TikTok decided to smite this man. Whether he was a fraudster or a troller, he had clearly not paid his respects, and so Greenthumbgotbands got banned. His name was a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy, and his account is no more. By the way, before we move on to our next banned user, I kindly ask that you give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this and you haven't already. If you do, I'll give you a golden watch I got by using a business account that I just filed for bankruptcy. With that said, there's perhaps no banned user on TikTok more infamous than the OG TikTok celebrity himself. Things are going to take a bit of a darker turn now as we talk about the Budday. Now, the Budday story is actually one that I've spoken about on this channel before within my video about TikTok scandals. But since that video was uploaded about 2 years ago now, I think that it would make sense to go back over it. Nothing about his story has really changed much in that time, but in case you don't know his tale, it would be good just to go back over. So I personally classified the Budday, real name Buddy Haynes, as the very first TikTok celebrity. In the very early days of the platform, he was one of, if not the first creator that went really viral, but in this case, it was for all of the wrong reasons. He was first known to many as the cringy guy from the "Why Do Good Girls Like Bad Guys" video. Why Do Good Girls Like Bad Guys was of course an early TikTok trend, somewhat similar to the Don't Judge Me challenge. And in this trend, people would dress up like a geeky dork before covering the camera and coming out as an alpha male Chad. All of this while lip syncing to a song called Good Girls Bad Guys by Falling in Reverse. Long story short, many people found his version of the song to be quite funny, leading him to cultivate quite a large following on the platform. However, he then decided to start stitching himself onto other people's TikToks, and this was where things began getting strange, because he would frequently stitch himself onto young girls' videos, oftentimes stimulating making out with them through the stitch, or otherwise doing various other inappropriate things with them. This just generally isn't okay for a man who was apparently 26 at the time to be doing. And from there, as you can probably predict, he decided to DM underage girls. Girls started coming forward saying that the Budday was sending them inappropriate DMs, dick pics, and uncomfortable videos, and of course, I'll give you an example. So let's roll the clip.
Think about this tongue, all up in your mouth, all over your tits, inside you.
My theory is that the Budday likely hadn't had this amount of attention before. He went from a nobody to one of the faces of an emerging social media platform in a very short amount of time, and this likely gave him the impression that he had power that he could now exchange for relationships and sex. Obviously, once this came out, his name was tarnished, and TikTok would eventually ban the Budday for his behaviour. He would try to return to the internet several times under the username FreakAlpha. And then in January 2021, he would make a video under the YouTube username Papa Freak, where he revealed his side of the story, claiming that he had been dealing with depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, and alcohol abuse, going on to say that he wasn't in the right state of mind when he was making a lot of these videos.
I dealt with a lot of depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, alcohol abuse, and there's a lot of those videos that I was not necessarily in my correct state of mind, and you know, that's on me. You know, I'm not trying to like diffuse the situation that, oh, it's okay. No, it's not okay.
He would then admit that he did message people that were underage, but that it was never meant to be taken in a sexual manner.
There are conversations between me and some underage people. My intent is never to groom, prey, or sexualize anyone, whether you are of age or not of age. I am just a friendly person, and maybe that comes off to some people the wrong way. Maybe I need to be more, okay, so you're, underage. I need to make sure I know that, hey, maybe the conversations I have with someone of my age, I can't have with you. And if you are one of those people, I am sorry. I apologize. My intent was never to make you feel uncomfortable in any shape, form, or fashion.
Later in the video, he would confirm that he had in fact sent pictures of his tallywhacker to someone, but he also claimed that he did not send these pictures to an underage person. Rather, by my understanding, it seems as though he says that he sent it to someone of age, but then the picture was sent to an underage person by a third party, not by him.
As far as the picture of my junk, I did say, I was having problems with alcohol and anxiety and depression with schizophrenia. I wasn't taking my medicine. I was using alcohol to self-medicate myself. And, as a lot of people do, we take pictures and we do send them to people. More than anything, I was embarrassed that even got out in the first place. And then it got sent to someone who it should not have. I don't know how it got sent to someone that was underage. I'm still trying to figure that out. 3 years, I still have not figured that out. I have talked to the FBI. I've, tried to do my own research, my own investigation with nothing. I'm still trying. Once I know something, you'll know something. If you are that person, or you are one of those people, I am sorry. That was never meant to get to you. And I am making steps to make sure that does not happen again.
He would finish the video by saying that he was taking steps to improve himself, and that he wasn't admitting guilt, but was admitting responsibility. The video was then disliked by 90% of the people who watched it. He would also state that he wasn't going to return to TikTok for the sake of him not opening the Pandora's box back up. But it's very possible that now he confirmed the allegations that he might just be flat out banned from the platform, even if he ever wanted to return. Almost 4 years later, and the Budday has stuck true to his word. He apparently still streams on Papa Freak. Please do not go and harass him, But other than that, he's not active on any other social media, at least none that I could find. His Instagram also seems to be banned, so I really don't think he'll ever be making a return. And I can definitely say the same thing for our next TikToker in what has to be the darkest story that I have today. We have to delve into the world of true crime for this one. It's the now convicted JinnKid. Ali Abulaban, better known online as JinnKid, was a fairly successful content creator with around 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, 84,000 followers on Facebook, 187,000 followers on Instagram, and 940,000 followers on the crown jewel of his social media empire, TikTok. However, while online he was growing in success, Abulaban's life off-screen was plagued with hatred, jealousy, anger, and the inability to control his emotions. There had recently been some problems with his marriage. Ali believed that his wife Anna had been unfaithful. Ali claimed that in July 2021, Anna had told him that she had been unfaithful to him, and while high on cocaine, Ali had punched her 3 times. It was also said that on another occasion he had pushed her, causing her to hit her head on the fridge. He therefore had a history of domestic violence. But as with many of these cases, it would later escalate. It was on the 18th of October 2021 when a then 32-year-old Ali Abulaban had been asked to move out of his San Diego home by his wife. But according to Sky News, 3 days later he returns to the apartment while Anna was away. During this time, it's also said that he set up a Discord call onto his 5-year-old daughter's iPad as a way of listening in and spying on Anna. Hours later, and while he was listening in, he heard her and another man talking. According to the Daily Mail, prosecutors believed that he had copied a key to Anna's home, which allowed him to access the apartment. And so he would race there and then fatally shoot both Anna and a male named Raven Barron, who was 29 at the time. He then fled the building and went to pick up his 5-year-old daughter from school with the murder weapon still in his possession. He told his daughter that he had hurt Mummy, and at some point he also confessed these crimes to his own mother while over the phone. While Abulaban's 5-year-old daughter was present with him in the car, the police stopped them and arrested Ali. It would take almost 3 years for the trial to come to its conclusion. Ali defended himself by saying that he was high on cocaine and that none of this was premeditated. He just saw reds and caused all of this to happen. He and his attorney sought voluntary manslaughter, but the jury wasn't having any of it, and neither was the judge. I'm about to show you a clip of what the judge had to say, as well as the reaction to it within the courtroom when the news was finally delivered.
As he sits here today, I don't know if he's really sorry. I have serious reservations about it. I know he's sorry about the consequences. The bottom line here is he will die in prison. He will never be a free man. He will take his last breath there. Please.
According to the San Diego Union Tribune, he was sentenced to 2 consecutive terms of life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus 50 years to life. Therefore, it seems as though Abulaban will never see the light of day outside of prison ever again. He would upload one final video to his YouTube account called Murder or Manslaughter, where it seems as though he would try and convince the internet of his side of the story. He would also come out on Instagram with this post. Audio listeners, if you care to read it, I'd advise looking at the screen now. I'm not going to go over all of it, but you can pause the video now if you want to read it. To summarize, he said that he was no longer going to use his platform as a means of trying to defend himself. He stated that he was eternally devastated by the fact that he hurt the love of his life and fatally injured the man beside her, and he apologized to everyone for letting them down. People were obviously not having this, with many people angry at the fact that after all of this time, he has still not come forward with the fact that what he did was premeditated. Many people think that he planned to kill the pair. To go to the apartment with a loaded gun after bugging an iPad and driving for 15 minutes to travel there gave him plenty of time to opt out, even if he was high on cocaine. Nonetheless, he was obviously banned on TikTok for this. That absolutely goes without saying. But it seems as though his other socials are fine. His YouTube account is still up, and apparently still monetized, and his Instagram and Twitter are also up. So in this case, maybe it's just because he was the most famous on TikTok, but they went in the hardest on him. The more important thing was that the actions of Ali Abulaban back on that day in October 2021 led to 2 people being deceased, 1 person spending the rest of their life behind bars, and 1 poor little girl growing up in a world without either parent. That was an absolutely low note to end on, but this video is now coming to a close. If you enjoyed it, then why not check out my recent video about deleted TikToks? That was part 4 of my deleted TikTok series. It makes sense that if you enjoyed this, then you'll love that one too. I definitely recommend checking it out. Aside from that, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.